Parents, when did your kid teach you how to be brave? When my uncle was having a wedding, he told me I could bring a +1, and as per the invite, children were allowed. So the first thing I did was tell my daughter Isabella. She had never been to one, but always loved watching the wedding scenes in Barbie movies, and that made her want to go. You see, I adopted her from the adoption center when she was just 8, and now she was 9, but still hadn't gotten the opportunity to see that many things for the first time. So when I told her about this, she had a huge smile on her face. "Thank you, Daddy, I'm so happy you adopted me," she yelled at the top of her lungs. I responded by telling her I'm not just her adoptive dad, I'm her father, and she is the most important person in my life. This made her smile even harder, and she ran into the living room to watch Barbie, a fashion fairy tale, and kept replaying the scene where Ken plans a huge wedding for Barbie. It was honestly so sweet it brought me to tears. Fast forward to the day of the wedding rehearsal. Isabella had a tendency to be on edge and always on the lookout for danger, so I told her that any loud sounds were safe and were simply part of the rehearsal, and that if she got scared, try not to make too much noise, but just squeeze my hand so she knows everything is okay. It's all things we had practiced before, so I thought it would be okay. But we were halfway through the ceremony when Isabella squeezed my hand as tight as she could. I thought she was having a panic attack, but when I looked into her eyes, I saw sparks, and I knew she was just really happy. We locked eyes and I nodded, as if to say I love you, which made her smile even harder. And I guess her eyes really were bright, because that's when my uncle looked over and noticed her. "What the actual F is she doing here?" he yelled. "Who invite the cotton picker?" his ugly wife chimed in. You see, my entire family was white. Meanwhile, Isabella was African American. My heart shattered. I turned to Isabella, who wasn't smiling anymore, but wasn't crying either. "Why do you have to ruin everything?" My mom turned around to yell, staring straight at Isabella. I felt tears well up in my eyes, but the last thing I wanted was for them to know they had any power over us. So I lifted her up, handed her a lollipop from my pocket, and we walked out. "Baby, please don't listen to them." "I wasn't," Isabella exclaimed, smiling again. "I understand. The kids at the orphanage were like this too, but they're just dumb, right? An adult at the orphanage told me only dumb people talk like that." Suddenly my heart was filled with more pride than I even thought possible. "Absolutely. They're idiots," I exclaimed, before twirling her around and driving to her favorite Dunkin' Donuts spot. That moment reminded me of what I already knew. My daughter was a gift to my life. Fast forward 3 days later to the actual wedding. My daughter insisted on me going without her, so I hired a babysitter to take her to the cinema for the day. For the first part of the ceremony, I let my family believe that they had gotten away with it, that I wasn't going to bring it up again. But then came the dinner. I didn't even bother announcing anything, just violently pushed my chair back and stood up, forcing everyone to pay attention. So we all had the pleasure of meeting my daughter Isabella. Everyone's faces suddenly turned to their plates, pretending to be extremely interested in the pattern on the sides. And well, let's face it guys, some of us acted in ways we weren't proud of. As I said this, I pointed directly at my uncle and my mom. But that's okay, because repairs have been made. I have donated $2,000 to the local adoption agency in the name of Murphy, my last name. One person began to slowly clap, followed by everyone cheering. Except my uncle and my mom, that is. They looked so red I honestly thought they were going to turn into tomatoes. But still, they forced an ugly smile and continued eating. I had no idea that it was the silence before the chaos, because the next morning I woke up to 37 missed calls from both my family and numbers I didn't recognize. That's when I saw it. In the family group chat, my mother had put in a photo of what was very obviously a fake bruise on her knee. She claimed that Isabella had given it to her at the wedding rehearsal, after my mom requested that she blow her nose. Anger boiled my blood. Their story didn't even make any effing sense, but the entire family was eating it up. But once everything was said and done, I planned on making her pay. The rest of the full story is on my channel and linked below.